farming can be very profitable if done well. But before you can even project if you're going to make profit or loss, it boils down to one key element or component. That is the production cost. This week on Farming Today, we are back with another vegetable and, of course, a breakdown of what makes up the full budget before you even go looking for the land. Now, this is purposely targeting those who have not inherited land from their parent or family, but you are going to lease the land. Okay? So this is purposely for those who are leasing the land. And my name is Enyonam, as always. But when you see me in town, call me Ghana's finest farmer. Do me a favor. Subscribe, share the link, and make sure that you drop your comments or your questions on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, LinkedIn, on Instagram, of course, on YouTube. Anywhere you see the Ghanaian farmer, it is a credible brand. You can affiliate or you can, partner or, be proud to be a Ghanaian farmer. So my brother is back again with me, Erica Santi. He's an agronomist, a product developer, and of course, he works with Sakata seeds. Like I'm saying, on the Ghanaian Farmer TV, we are growing, we are evolving. And so we have Farming Today that goes live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. on the dot. We discuss a lot of very insightful matters that, help you to grow as a farmer. And this is one of these typical discussions we are doing. We have extension alert. We know that in Ghana, one extension officer equals 1,000 or more farmers. It is not good. And as a farmer, do not be farming. And when you are asked, oh, what variety of maize are you farming? So minimal, white and yellow. You let me ask my agronomist. No. It's not good. As a farmer, know some of the basics at your fingertips. And then you can get an agronomist to help you. And that's why, or that's what informed our decision to introduce Extension Alert, where Eric and his colleagues will be discussing a lot of extension matters. We've even done a couple of them on the channel. And then, of course, we have Farming Today. So this week, we are back. And again, it is just 1 acre farm budget. All right? 1 acre farm budget for onion. This is for onion. So if you want to go into onion farming, then this is the budget you should be paying attention to. Not watermelon, no. I said what? Onion. So this is the breakdown. All that you need to know about onion. Now, first of all, when you say onion, what kind of crop is onion?
Onion is a bulb. So it's going to work within the soil.
Okay.
And those few people love to use the leaves as sort of spring onions. Some can use it fresh, and there are also specified varieties that are meant for it. But predominantly, it is a bulb crop.
Okay.
Yeah.
For us, we like vegetables that will give us a lot of profit. So you bringing us onion means we have something exciting going on.
Onion is profitable.
Right.
Because within Ghana and around us, every meal has onion in it.
Exactly.
When you go to places like Senegal, they have a full meal that is only onions.
Okay.
They're still, whilst we will be consuming tomatoes, a lot of them, they'll be consuming full onion as the sauce.
All right.
So onion is very, very
great.
In demand.
So you tell me this is a cost breakdown.
Yes.
For onion farming.
Yes.
Now, again, what are the components that makes up the budget?
So we have come to understand the basic of production budgets. And we always want to stick to the basic units of land area that is cultivated within Ghana and its environments. We have the first part of the production budget as the cost of investment, the second part as operational or variable cost, and the third part, which I like to say, the human resource or the people who convert all these things into an output. So at this point, we are focused on people who do not have the land readily and they may have to hire or on a term and agreement of lease. At this point, you may have to clear the land.
Okay.
Get a source of water where it predominantly you have to site your farm closer to a source of water, or you have to find your water.
Okay.
Irrigation, a means to bring water to the crop, and then the pumps, the power to generate the water upwards.
Okay.
Plowing, making the soil usable, pliable, and friendly for the new baby you are bringing on board. For onion, we may have to raise some beds in order for the bulb to have room to operate. That is why you see some bed preparation. And that will also increase our cost a little bit because we want to make the soil finer. Now, in land lease, mostly within the farming communities, you are getting something like a 500 cedis. Land clearing, depending on the situation on the land, you are clearing at quite good because you are removing stumps and causing a lot of removals, fresh use. But if you are fortunate to have your land using for the second or a third time, then this cost can be absorbed. You can keep your money and you may not need it. So when you check the budget, whatever you will not need, you can kindly deduct out of it and you'll be in a very good standing.
Okay. Okay.
You have your irrigation and your water sourcing about 20,000 because we say the highest cost as at now in Ghana, irrigation, 1 acre irrigation system is around 20,000. That is drip irrigation.
All right.
If you choose the other option, you can have some 5,000, you can have 10,000 to cover your irrigation system.
Right.
So giving us the cost of investment around 30,300.
Okay. So it means that leasing a land, it runs through in a lot of the villages.
Yeah.
You are likely to get it at 500 cedis for an acre for a year.
Yes.
Okay. So in a year too, in Ghana, it depends on how you are dividing your year. It can be 3 months, or it can be 4 months. So in a year, it's 500. You are likely to get it at most places like that. Then, of course, land clearing. So that means tractor, cutting down of trees. In our year, the land we bought, we have some cocoa, we have some trees that we don't want.
Right.
So whilst I've paid the 6 acres, they are charging me 3,000 Ghana cedi for just the cutlass.
Ah, okay.
Slashing
so that's
the
slashing.
Nice.
Okay.
Now they've asked me I should go and get the chainsaw operators.
Right.
To now come and cut down the trees. So that's
Exactly.
why you are looking at 5,000 here.
Yes.
Okay. It can be more or it can be at this level.
Right.
Then water sourcing.
Yeah.
It also depends on where closer the water is or far from you.
Right.
You are looking at a minimum budget of this. It can be more or it can be high. By averagely, you are looking at something like this. And of course,
1,500.
the irrigation. This is for drip. All right. We've checked with those who are selling, and this is what they are mentioning. Then of course the pump, and you come to the plow now, where you need to get some tractors to work. And of course, like you said, you need bed.
Yeah.
So when you put all these figures together, you are working or kicking towards 30,300 Ghana cedi.
Right.
Now, from this stage, we move to the operational.
Operational. So we are dealing with seeds, onion seeds. Currently, I'll talk about the local market
Okay.
where farmers save seeds that they are selling. They sell in Olonka. That is their unit of measurement that they can relate with. This is giving you about 1,000 cedis per the current Olonka they use, which means onion seeds are really in high demand. Now, for a given hectare, I'll start with the standard hectare. We are looking at about 1 million seeds of onion to occupy the whole place. That means for every square meter, minimum 100 plants, minimum. Now, if you divide it by the 2.5 to get an acre, then we'll be dealing about 400,000 of onion to occupy the entire acre. Now, in Ghana, usually the onions are packaged in 100 grams.
Okay.
So you just have to know if you need about 1 kg, between 1 kg, some will do 1.5, some will do 2 kg. Within this space ranges, you will get your onion seeds occupying the entire place. And that, if you calculate 500 cedi per the 100 gram, 450 per 100 gram, depending on the source of the seeds and whether it's an farmer saved seed, open pollinated, or hybrid. The hybrid are mostly around 450 and 500 per 100 gram because of the added value. There will be no rot in the soil and you have all that you are looking for. So you are looking at, we can do a simple calculation. If you are doing 10 of 450, then you are doing about 4,500.
Okay.
If you are doing 10 of 500 of the 100 gram, then you are doing 5,000. But be it as it may, I always put that cost higher. So I've increased it by even extra 2,000 to even cover today if you watch it, and 2 years to come if you should watch it, in order for you to be covered with the seed cost.
So you can be comfortable.
Yes. Then we have fertilizers. These are very necessary units or components of your production. You either have the nutrients in the soil and you are convinced that you have it, or you have to supply to the plant. Now, I always have something I say, whether organic source or inorganic source, the plant will pick nitrogen as nitrogen. Basic. Whether you are a vegetarian or you are the regular eaters, the protein source, you can source it from different sources. But when it gets to your body will digest the little amino acid as amino acids. That is the basic. So this is where fertilizers, or I would say nutrients, whichever angle you take, make sure the required amount is supplied to the plant in order for you to get your maximum output. You control some weeds. Controlling weeds in onion is quite a tedious work. So you have to combine strategies.
Okay.
You need weedicides. When you plant it, before you transplant, you do your weedicide, then you transplant. By the time the next seeds are coming or weeds are coming, you get to a point you cannot do the spraying again. You need manual weeding in onion. It's very important because if you dare to spray, you can cause a lot of damage. And mostly you don't even have a lot of space to work. You've occupied majority of the places. So manual weeding, if you put them on beds, is ideal. Now, manual weeding costs a lot because working in onion is a lot of work, and it's like we say, painstaking to pick out the weeds. So you have to, it will cost you quite a number. You need about 15 workers to get you dealing with this. That's why I put manual weeding. Potentially, you have to cost it ahead of time.
Right.
That will give us 15,400. Now, the next section of our budget has to deal with human resource, labor. I've always put the idea of optional for farm supervisors because sometimes whoever is going to farm might be from a Greek background, might be from a grandmother source, might be from an experienced background. So they may not necessarily need a supervisor. They will be their own boss. They will be their own supervisor. If you choose not to pay yourself, your cost can be absorbed. If you choose to sacrifice for later, your payment will come as profit, your cost is absorbed. So that is fair. But for the farm workers that you need to support you, definitely you may give them per month and an agreed amount. I will quantify about 1,000 cedis for each of them for the next 3 months, giving you about 6,000. Now there is one here I call 15 temporary workers. This will also take care of your transplanting. In onion, everybody will do transplanting. Each farmer will go through the transplanting phase. So as at last week in April to first week in May, all the onion growers are going to do their nursery. As I'm talking with you, onion seeds are in high demand. And you also need it because that is well cleaned for your benefit. Now, 15 growers or 15 experienced transplanters will help you maximum 1 day or 2 days. They are done with an acre. And that is quite a work. 400,000 plantings, for onion. Each plant will give you one fruit. Plant population is about 400,000.
Wow.
So when I say 15 workers, they are not much. And this one, you are dealing with experienced workers. For onion, please, you cannot take amateurs. You need experienced hands to deliver the work on time and on spot. Each of them by the day will be taking about 130 cities, 150 cities. So if I stay at 130, some do 100, some do 80 cities, depending on your location.
If you're giving them food, I remember when we said it.
Okay.
That's about 2 years ago. If you're giving them food, then they take about, I think, 80 to 100 cities.
Okay.
That is if you're providing with lunch. But if not, then they will charge
you have to add up for their lunch.
Yeah.
Now that gives us about 14,000 regarding the human resource or support system to that provision.
Okay.
Now the grand total for A, B, and C, we are talking from the part A 30,000,
300,
15,400 plus 14,000.
Yes.
It's giving us about 59,700 as our cost of production
to produce your 1 acre
onion.
And this cost, like he said, some of them are one term.
Yeah.
Some of them, like seed, fertilizer, you would buy again. But usually the one that you buy again here might be you have to renew the tenancy agreement with your landlord. So in total, we're looking at 59,700. Now let's go down to the expected yield.
Now expected yield, this is our output. Given all the activities done well, we are expecting that about 400,000 of plants. I'm not talking about 10,000. I'm not talking about 20. I'm saying 400,000. World standards brings it that 1 million seeds is what will occupy 1 hectare of land. That is 10,000 square meter. So you need 100 of it to occupy per square meter. By the time you do your calculation, you should be closer to the 1 million.
Exactly.
So a 2.5 less of it will give us, or if we divide that by 2.5, we should be around 400,000 plants. This should produce to you 4,000 kilos of onions. They measure it in 100 kg sack, which will give you about 100 plants, 400 bags, or we will say 40 bags, or something. 40 of 100.
Right.
So this two is 140.
Yeah.
So you will get between 30 bags of the 100 kg sack or 40 of the 100 kg. And each of them, we want to sell it at 40 cedi a kilo. Now this price in Ghana, always onion farmers enjoy the best prices, whereas importers enjoy the lowest prices. It's an irony, and we stand at that advantage. So for onion, currently as we're talking from January, February, March up until April, we will see a lot of influx imports coming
from Burkina,
Nigeria, Niger. Now all these, because they produced it in bulk, they are supplying to the market, and currently the market about 100 kg is selling about 1,500, way cheaper than the time the Ghanaian farmers will be harvesting. By the time they are harvesting, onion has doubled up.
The price.
The price had doubled to 3,000 for the 100 kg, and 4,000 for the 100 kg. So the demand become high. Now per that division, we get 40 cedi per kilo. Or 30 cedi per kilo. In any case, when we multiply, we are going to make about 160,000 from 1 acre. If you had 40,000, 4,000 kilogram, or 40 of the 100 kg bags.
So if this is the phase 1 of the harvest, it means it amounts to
60,000. 160,000.
Hey, Honorable, take care.
No, I don't want to reduce your. I don't want to reduce your revenue.
This is money we are talking about. So we are looking at an estimated figure of 160,000
Ghana cedis.
That is if all things go equal. Your agronomy practices, your plant population, your farm management and everything. If all things go equal and this is the harvest you got, then it means that, and farm gate price per kilo, right?
Per kilo,
It's
yes.
going for 40. This is how much you're looking at. Now the phase 2, if you reduce from
400,000
to 300,000, you're looking at a figure of 120,000.
Ghana cedis.
Right.
Now these two are choices of the farmers.
Okay.
Some farmers transplant very close, and that is good and recommended.
Yeah.
For onion, you need a very dense atmosphere or a dense field to achieve your yield. If you give too much space, you waste a lot of space, time, resources.
Right.
Weeds will take over. So it's good to have it compact, and that's why we recommend high density.
Okay.
But I will see a lot of people doing less density with space, with the idea of the bulb will have space.
Will grow bigger.
Will grow bigger. But remember, onion, one seed gives you one bulb. The more, the better. One seed, one bulb. The more,
So it
the
doesn't
better.
matter the distance. Is that what you're saying?
It has just an inch interval.
Okay.
An inch or two interval.
That's okay. Now let's go down and look at our revenue, the cost of production, and then the cost before profit. And let's look at how much we'll be using to, go around town.
So when we have 160,000 coming from our sales,
Exactly.
and our cost of production coming from
59,700.
then we are expecting about 100,300 as our remaining money,
Okay.
which gives us profits. 100,000 not a big money. It is 20,005.
Right.
So this is credible in the sense that no overestimation when it comes to the yield. And we have also given you high costs in your budget, in your planning purpose. So getting 100,000, which our farmers get every now and then, that is why they are very interested in onion farming.
Right.
If you chose the lower end of the population, then we said you are making 120,000
Okay.
with our production costs, and that is giving us about 60,000 as profits.
Okay.
20,000 Ghana cedi 3 times.
Right.
That gives us about our 60,000. And what we are saying is this: after deducting your cost of production, you also have extra money that could take care of your production again. Now, if you are with the one who want to expand, then we are saying you have another money to double up your next year production.
Okay.
So if I did 1 acre, your profit, if you want to plow everything back, then we are saying that you have a full amount to double your production. And like we mentioned earlier, you have the opportunity of these things already existing.
Exactly.
Meaning 30,000 will not be used out of here.
No.
So you can save enough, still go through your production, and have a buffer for your next season.
Great. This is really insightful. Now, you mentioned that there's a time where the Ghanaian onion become high demand, and therefore you get good profits.
Yes.
Now, what time of the year do you advise that I put in my 59,700 to grow onion? What time of the year are we looking at?
When you mention the money, you feel the weight of your investment. So I understand.
Yes.
So in Ghana, fortunately, people do one time for the southern belt, one time onion production, because the weather for the nursery and the start of the plant is usually around May. Late April, when we see the rains are coming, because mostly it's dependent on rain. And then early May, nursery is gone. 1 month afterwards, it's transplanted. In June, we have enough water to help the vegetative growth. In 3 months, August, September, everybody is harvesting. At that time, no imports are coming. Why? Because that place are now receiving more rains, and their soils are sucked that it cannot help with the bulbs at that time of our year. Whereas our year, we have the dry spell. So the second dry spell would have arrived, and that helped our onions to dry quickly. And that means our farmers are at liberty with less competition on the market. So you see a lot of people say onions are expensive because one, our production to meet the national demand is way, way low.
Yes.
Hence, the farmers enjoy those high pricing, higher demand situation.
Okay. Then again, let me ask one very important question, which has to do with the variety.
Okay.
If I'm going into the market,
Right.
and I'm going to buy onion as a first-time farmer, I want to grow onion.
Right.
Which are the varieties that are moving in the market that you would advise me to look into?
Okay. Currently, the hybrid varieties are the leading ones and the moving ones.
Okay.
If you are looking for a variety, I recommend Sakata Granite. Please, we have tried it in Ghana, Hacho, Agbozome, Volta, Northern Region, Upper West and Upper East. All of them have done it and they have testified. We have evidence and pictures and farmers who did it. And last year, those of them that did Sakata Granite really enjoyed. As I'm talking with you, Red Creole too is available from the Sakata source and it's almost out of stock and more are coming. We recommend that you get well clean seeds, well improved seeds, and that will give you guarantee of your yield. Because in onion, any bulb you lose, any plant you lose, you are losing real money in real time.
Indeed. Any plant or bulb you're losing money in real time. But you know what? If you buy correct seed, if you buy quality seed, and you don't get the right nutrients to boost the yield, then of course it still would go against your money. And that's why I'm recommending Roco Nano Urea. Roco Nano Urea. We say caring for you. We care for you. For a very long time, farmers have gone through a lot of stress carrying this heavy urea on their head. Those who don't have money to even, charter taxi are forced to do so. And the sad part is, in the absence of heavy rain, you can apply your urea. Even if you apply and the rain doesn't come well, you don't get the full benefits. And that's why scientists have gone into the lab and turned things around and came out with Roco Nano Urea. So just like it's mentioned, we've talked about melon, we've talked about onion, we've talked about chili, tomato, rice, maize, cassava, we've talked about sweet pepper, bell pepper, cabbage, carrot, whatever vegetable, cereal that you're cultivating, even tubers. Remember, 3 weeks after your first planting or 3 weeks after transplanting, you would use your Roco. Okay? The moment it drizzles or moment it rains or it showers, make sure you get your Roco. Move to the field, and I always recommend that do it before sunrise. So by 4:30, 5 a.m., 5:36 latest, 6 in the morning, you would have used your Roco. Let's get your knapsack bag, get clean water, fill the knapsack bag, and make sure you just open this tip, this cover here, fill it, and then mix with the water and apply. In one bottle, you get about 15 knapsack bag for your farm to apply, okay? And remember that it is less chemical, environmentally friendly, crop protection. It protects your crop, and of course, it enhances the crop. And for your yield, I tell you what, you might not even be able to sell. Just go and get more market because Roco will do the magic for you. And I'm telling you that if you need more to buy, if you want more to buy, the distributors in Ghana are JK Industries Limited. Right here at industrial area, you can call them on 0267 011111 or call the Ghanaian farmer. We have some in stock and we are selling because when we bought it, people were rushing. So me too, I care about my farmers a lot. So I got some, boxes and they're in my warehouse. So call the Ghanaian farmer 0554830431 and I'll get you one to go and try. But if I were you, the promotional price is $240. I'll buy like one box and keep it in one corner and be using it small. And then when you see the result, I don't have to make noise. But listen, even if you're about to use Roku and you have some pesticide or other things to use, you can equally mix it and use it. It doesn't really hurt, okay? But make sure that you give Roku a try and you come back to thank me later. This has been very, very insightful, very, very enlightening, and I'm sure those of you who are first-time farmers, I am doing just 1 acre because as a first-time farmer, even if you have 10 acres at your disposal, make sure you start with 1.
Yeah.
When you go through the 1 and you understand and you do the little mistakes and you correct them, the next season you can open up. But it's always best that you do the breakdown. This is an answer to the questions you've been asking. And you know, I have my 5,000. Hey, don't go there. This is 59,700 gonna see, man. Thank you very much. Do me a favor. Share the link. Share the link. Share the. This one is not 12 a.m. This one is 4 p.m. in Ghana time. Share the link. Oh, share the link. If you want to be a successful farmer, share the link for a brother, a friend, your parent. In fact, the diasporans. This is what you need to be sharing. Share the link. And don't skip the art when you're playing. My name is Ayuna, and this has been Eric Asante from. He works with Sakata Seeds. He's a product developer and, of course, an agronomist. What will be a final message to those who are hoping to try their hands on onion farming?
It's a good avenue to explore agriculture with a high demand crop because you are putting in money, and when you have an assured market, that is why you are working. So why don't try onion? Because definitely you'll get your good returns.
Indeed. You'll get your good return. Thank you very much for staying with us. We'll see you next week with another crop. Okay? This, I'll bring it more until you say, you know, we beg you. But until then, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.